I was digging in my backyard when I hit something metal. I pulled out an old rusted safe. And when I finally opened it, what I found inside changed everything. I wasn't planning to find anything that day. Honestly, I wasn't even doing anything interesting. I'd been meaning to level out a patch in my backyard for weeks. The ground dipped awkwardly near the fence, and every time it rained, a muddy puddle formed there. It was one of those small home projects you keep putting off until you finally can't stand looking at it anymore. So that Saturday morning, coffee in hand, I grabbed a shovel and decided I'd knock it out before lunch. The sky was overcast, the kind of gray that makes the whole world feel quieter than usual. I remember thinking it was perfect digging, weather not too hot, no blinding sun in my eyes. The soil was a little damp from rain earlier in the week, so the shovel cut through it easily. I'd gotten into a good rhythm. Step, press, lift, toss. About 20 minutes in, the shovel hit something hard. The sound it made wasn't the dull thud of hitting a rock or tree root. It was sharper, metallic. That distinct clang you only get when steel meets steel. I stopped mid-motion, blinked, and tapped the shovel against the spot again. Same sound. At first, I figured it was some old scrap metal left behind by a previous homeowner. My house isn't exactly new, built sometime in the 50s, with a history I barely knew beyond the name of the last owner. People bury weird things sometimes. A friend once found a whole rusted out bicycle frame under his driveway. I crouched down and started clearing dirt with my hands, the soil cold and clumping under my nails. After a few minutes, I uncovered a corner of what looked like, well, I didn't know what it looked like yet. All I could see was a flat, rust-colored surface flaking under my fingers. The more dirt I cleared, the bigger it got. The shape was too square to be a random piece of junk. I dug around the edges, my curiosity overtaking the idea that maybe I should just leave it alone. Eventually, I had uncovered nearly the entire top, and that's when it clicked. It was a safe, an old safe, the kind you might see in an old detective movie, the kind gangsters in the 1930s would stuff with cash and jewelry. It was half buried in the earth, heavy looking, coated in decades of rust and grime. The metal was dented in places, and one corner looked like it had taken a serious hit from something, maybe a hammer, maybe time itself. I sat back on my heels, my heart thudding in my chest in a way that didn't quite match the situation yet. I mean, come on, how often do you find a safe buried in your backyard? It felt absurd, like something that only happened in clickbait headlines or Reddit threads. I gave the handle a tentative tug. Nothing. Not even a wiggle. The thing was completely sealed shut. The dial was so rusted I could barely make out the numbers. I tried knocking on the top. It gave a dull, heavy sound that told me this thing was solid and probably still had something inside. Now, here's the thing about me. Once I get curious about something, it eats at me. It's like an itch under the skin.